So, I got a chance to incorporate blending beats with my mic checking, and nobody in my little area was doing anything like that. And they was just as excited as I was the first time I learned how to actually scratch, and watching a guy do it. I seen it on TV on Herbie Hancock. I seen, a lot of cats from New York, doing the cutting and scratching, but I never seen anybody do it live. So when my boys, showed me a couple of things, how to do a little scratching here and there, I couldn't wait to go back to do my next DJ set, so I can, mess around on the turntables a little bit and still do my mic check. So my first time taking it out, I got a good response for it, but still logging those speakers around to me was something that I was eager to get out of, because when you're DJing, you can bring 10 people come with you. Yeah, dude, I help you lift the speakers, I help you bring all the equipment, and then once we get to the party, if you take 10 guys with you, you'll be lucky if you have 2 to come back with you. They start drinking, meeting the girls, and hanging out, blah blah blah. And I knew ultimately I really admired DJing. Producing, and that's something that I wanted to get into. So I met Bob Rosenberg, and uh, I met Bob Rosenberg, and Bob was like the first person I seen with like a drum machine. I think he had a Roland 909 or something like that, and another little chord keyboard. So Bob invited me over to his place, and we had DJ once before at this club called the Panther in Fort Lauderdale. It was me, Bob Rosenberg, and Phil Jones, and everybody brought their turntables. Like, I think the house had 3 turntables, and I had 2, and Bob had 2, and we had a vocoder, and we just like everybody was mixing over each other, mixing, but it was dope. And so me and Bob built a relationship from just, we like how we vibed off of each other for as what songs we mixed in after the next guy. So Bob invited me over to his place, and once I saw the drum machine, it was over. I knew that my days as a DJ was on its way out. So little bit at a time, I started selling off my equipment and then replacing it with more production equipment like drum machines and keyboards. And on my way out of DJing, that's when I met my partner DJ Slice, aka Juan Arroyo, and he and I actually formed Afro-Rican. He's the Rican and I'm Puerto Rican. No, he's the Rican and I'm Black American. So that's how we came up with the name, and the name sort of stuck. So no matter what I tried to do, it's like, yo, Afro-Rican, what's up? And people actually thought I was African American and Puerto Rican mixed, but that's not true. I'm just Black American. And Juan made the group, and later on we brought this young kid in. At the time, Mark Rice, aka MD Rock. He was only 16 years old, but dude was wicked on the turntables. So I thought this would be a good attribute to what we're trying to do to help us kind of create the sound that I thought we should go with for the group. But I'm retro talking to go back a little bit. Prior to doing Give It All You Got, because MD Rock came after we did this song called Bass Attack for Pan This record, Bo Crane. And we had no idea what the hell we was doing. But we had a land drum and a keyboard, and we had a vocoder. And so all we wanted to do was just make a track that was up tempo and had a lot of bass. It had to have a lot of bass, hence the name Bass Attack. And it didn't do too well. We signed a crappy deal with Bo Crane. Of course, we were young. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. We read some book about the music business, and we thought we were freaking lawyers. What the hell we knew. But everyone has to go through that. It's a part of your initiation into the game. You get screwed around a couple of times. To me, I just call it education. It's college. A doctor just don't go to to his final stage of being a doctor in his first 2 years. It's the process that you take. You have to go to school. And those guys in those days, maybe they did take advantage of us, but nevertheless, it was a rite of passage, so to speak. And now I am where I am. That's water under the bridge. But the next song we decided to do was this track called Regina, and it was about this little promiscuous girl from my neighborhood, and I thought it would be, fun kind of to do a song about her. And it didn't do well, but it was still fun to do. Again, a lot of bass. And I really admired Luther Campbell. But what I didn't like about Luke, no disrespect, and I know he's been successful with doing it, is I didn't think that you had to sell records. You didn't have to go so graphic. I just was a little bit more concerned about what was my mom gonna think about, the music I was gonna make. But I always admired like the music behind what Luke was doing, not so much the lyrical content. And I admired Luke also as a businessman. He kind of, one of the people that I look up to from down south, from doing what we do as a person that I can, point myself like I want to be like Luke, minus the bad language.